For decades, the standard single warhead missile was the ultimate threat. But today, as that detonating warhead proves, they can simply be shot down. Over the last few decades, militaries have built incredibly dense, multi-layered nets of radar and interceptors. Firing a traditional nuclear missile at a modern superpower is no longer a guaranteed hit. Take the Russian-made S-400. Once deployed, these mobile defense batteries throw an invisible, highly accurate dome over contested airspace, swatting down incoming targets with extreme precision. If your enemy can reliably shoot down your nuclear strike, your nuclear deterrent is effectively useless. You need a way to break the shield. The engineering required to bypass these modern defense shields was developed back in the 1970s. But for 50 years, the extreme precision needed to separate multiple warheads at orbital speeds acted as a massive technical barrier to entry. For over 5 decades, only the United States, Russia, China, France, and the UK possessed the ability to pull it off. This technological monopoly gave these 5 nations absolute leverage over the global geopolitical hierarchy. Then, during a quiet night launch, India's Defense Research and Development Organization tested a weapon under the operational name Mission Divyastra. That successful test proved India had mastered the exact technology required to defeat modern interceptors. India officially stepped in as the world's 6th elite nuclear power. When a new player acquires a weapon system that bypasses interceptors, defense spending alone is no longer a guarantee of safety. Superpowers that once felt untouchable must now recalculate their strategic posture in Asia. The technology responsible for bypassing these defenses is known as MIRV, which stands for Multiple Independently Targetable Reentry Vehicle. A single missile climbs into space, where its payload opens to reveal a cluster of independent nuclear warheads. These warheads peel away, navigating separate trajectories to strike entirely different targets. For ground defenses, it becomes functionally impossible to track and intercept this simultaneous swarm. A MIRV-equipped rocket is an overwhelming force multiplier. It turns a single launch into an unstoppable nuclear rain that guarantees a successful strike. Naturally, the immediate reaction to this test happened right next door. India has been rapidly expanding its own S-400 air defense network, leaving regional rivals like Pakistan scrambling for a countermeasure. The Pakistani military currently claims they possess their own MIRV capability in the form of the Ababil missile to counter this exact threat. The issue is, Pakistan's tests lack the visual evidence and telemetry data verifying India's success. Furthermore, the Ababil is a relatively short-range platform, maxing out at roughly 2,000 kilometers. India's new platform, dubbed the Advanced Agni, is officially listed with a certain range, but Western intelligence agencies assume its true, undeclared reach pushes closer to 8,000 kilometers. You do not build an 8,000-kilometer missile to hit a target just across your own border. A weapon with that reach acts as a direct deterrent aimed squarely at global superpowers like China and the US. The intent behind this test is literally baked into its name, Mission Divyastra. In ancient Indian texts like the Mahabharata, a Divyastra is a divine weapon. These ancient weapons were not meant for everyday skirmishes. They were reserved strictly for the most critical stage of a conflict, unleashed only when a warrior needed to deliver one final, decisive blow. Translated into modern strategic terms, that is the exact philosophy of mutually assured destruction. If you combine a nuclear arsenal with verified MIRV delivery systems, you achieve an ultimate insurance policy. No foreign military will risk a conventional invasion against a nation capable of completely bypassing their defenses. And India is already looking at the next horizon. The defense sector is preparing for the impending test of the Agni-5, a next-generation platform projected to have a range capable of covering almost the entire globe. By mastering the swarm, India has joined a tier of military power once reserved for only 5 nations. In Washington, Beijing, and Moscow, the arrival of a 6th power with unstoppable reach forces a complete recalibration of how